Tony D and Little Joan in the background, and this is a screenwriter's rant on Coup, starring Peter Sarsgaard and Billy Magnuson, about a servant, a cook, who takes a job in 1918 at a mansion during the Spanish flu and turns the table on his employers, staging a coup with the workers. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books. The links are in the description. Comedy Horror in South Jersey. It's the Pineys, books 1 through 14. Available on Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle Unlimited is free. A lot of this is given away in the trailer, but I'll try not to give it away. Takes place in 1918, and this millionaire hires a new cook, and he's very good, and the dad insists that the family eat nothing but vegetables, but he wants to eat meat, the servant, and apparently he does on the sly, even though the owner doesn't want anybody to eat meat. Written and directed by Austin Stark and Joseph Schumann. And yeah, I don't think I recognize any of the. I mean, Peter Sarsgaard sounds familiar. Billy Magnuson, I know I've seen both of them. Yeah, and that's about it. But so the coup is one of a status change, and I've talked about this before in screenwriting videos. When you do a status change, that's a great thing with a character. So, for instance, a status change could be this. You have a cop, he's escorting a prisoner, let's say, and they get on a plane and the plane crashes, and the cop is injured, but the prisoner isn't, and then he helps the cop, and now he's the one in charge of their survival. Like, that changes the status. At first, the cop was in charge. Now, the prisoner's in charge. So this is what the movie is centered around. Like, at first, obviously the millionaire's in charge, and the servant just works for him. But then they get sort of cut off from the mainland during the flu, and they're running out of food. And the father doesn't want to eat meat, but the cook does, and he's willing to go hunting, and so eventually he does allow him to do it, but in that moment it sort of changes the status, and then the longer they're trapped on the island, the more the cook keeps pushing for more from the millionaire guy who hired him, his boss, and he doesn't have much of a choice, because without society working normally, it's like the guy who knows how to do things is more important than the guy who just has a bunch of money that he no longer has access to. So it sort of changes their dynamic, and slowly the cook becomes the one in charge, and the millionaire is like, second banana, don't hurt me. So it sounds like a fun movie. It sounds like it could have been a play. So first act, it's during the plague in 1918. The millionaire hires this guy. He shows up late the first day. And at first he kind of tolerates him, and the cook works for him, and he makes him vegetable stuff. But when they get cut off from the island, the cook now starts to push his luck. Like, well, hey, can't we, they're on an island, and they get cut off from the mainland, I should say. Due to the flu, and now the cook keeps pushing for more and more. Well, let's eat meat, and other changes as well. So as the second act progresses, the cook gets more and more powerful, and the man with the money who owns the house and hired him gets less and less powerful, because he can't get rid of him. Nobody can leave the island. He kind of needs him for food now, and now the cook takes advantage of it. And that continues into the third act until the millionaire then either rallies and fires him, or beats him up, or kills him, or doesn't. and then the cook just decides to leave, maybe something like that. It's kind of an old school comedy, although it's not billed as a comedy. I don't know what else to call it. It's like a weird, it's almost like a play. But the coup is that the cook then is the one in charge. Now you have to go to the cook to get permission to do things. He becomes the de facto leader because the millionaire's a weak man at heart, and without his money, he doesn't have the protection. So, interesting. I would see this. I would see this. Would probably be a good date movie. Here's the write-up. During the Spanish flu of 1918, a rebellious servant leads a revolt against his wealthy employer. It might turn into a whole commie metaphor, though. That's the downside of it. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it turns into a whole commie metaphor, but it doesn't appear to be that way. It's more about two men who just sort of, one's weak, one's strong, but one's rich, and the strong one just happens to not be the rich one. So I think it's more about that, but it could go sideways. Fair warning. But I would check it out. I would put it on my list of art house movies. Be it probably an okay date movie. Probably hit it on streaming. Yeah, why not? It's called Coup. We have a date on this thing? I don't think we do. Nah. Coming soon. Coming soon. And that's it for me, Tony D and Little Joan. Check us out on Odysee, Bitchute, and Rumble for our more base takes. You can find a more base take. I say, take it. I will be in the Valenzano Winery on Friday from 5 to 7 in Chemung, New Jersey for my talk on how to hunt the Jersey Devil. Saturday, I'll be at Moods Farms from 10 to 5 for the Blueberry Festival. Sunday, I'll be at the Pirates and Mermaids Festival from 10 to 5 at Dragon Shops, and more stuff next week. Hope to see you there. We'll see you tomorrow.